Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen im Depot. Welcome to Depot. Welcome to Cross. My name is Sarah van Dordrecht. I'm the director of Depot, and I'm very happy that we have the presentation of Most magazine with Ewa and Margit. Thank you so much for coming to Depot tonight. Just an announcement, we're streaming live on YouTube. Hello, those watch there. If you have any questions, we have a microphone, your voice will be recorded, your face is not. If you don't want your voice to be recorded, just give me a sign when I try to hand you the mic. Please sign up for our newsletter. There's some events until mid-December, a lot of them also in English. And I thank Jelena and Dejan a lot for organizing the series for so many years. And hand to Jelena. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, my name is Jelena Kaluđerović, and I would also like to welcome you on behalf of Verein K, represented also by Dejan Kaluđerović and Klaus Speidel, to the 27th Crit Cross that Verein K has been organizing as a platform for critical dialogue since its beginning in 2018. And we are really delighted to have tonight here a conversation between these two great ladies. We have Margit Neuhold, a writer, lecturer, and curator from Graz. Margit explores media images and their social, political, and ecological dimensions, and brings extensive experience from her work at Camera Austria as editor and curator. And Margit lectures today on image and media and contributes to leading art magazines across Europe. We have also Ewa Borysiewicz, a curator, critic, writer, researcher, and also I would like to mention our visiting critic from a few years ago. Ewa's work spans art history, critical writing, and innovative exhibition projects. She's the author of Kinetic Vertigo and has curated numerous shows while contributing to art publications such as Texte zur Kunst, Efflux, Criticism, Flash Art, and the others. And what Sarah already mentioned, Eva co-founded the online magazine Most, focusing on Central and Eastern European art that she will tell us more about this evening. I would also like to thank our sponsors of the Crit Cross program, City of Vienna and the 7th Viennese district, and to Depot for the great cooperation since already some years now. Thank you very much and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, then hello, good evening. Thank you. I'm super happy to be here. And we have been thinking that we start this evening with a presentation of Ewa and the magazine she's doing. And yeah, so I just hand it over to you.
Hello, thank you for coming. My name is Ewa, and first and foremost, please let me thank Margit for talking to me, Dejan, Jelena, and Klaus for inviting me for the second time in Vienna. Please follow and support Verein K. This is a great organization that I deeply admire, and also thank you, Depot, for hosting us for the talk. I will have to just rearrange myself so I have my notes and I have my mic. So yeah, this is Most magazine, and one of the co-editors in chief is myself. I do Most. I work on Most together with two of my colleagues, friends. Katie Zazański and Vera Zalutskaya, and we've met, I guess, in 2021 when still working for Block magazine, and at a certain point we decided that it would be great to have our own magazine. And this is how MOST was established. And the magazine, as you see here, is about a year old. So it was launched last year in April. And maybe I'm going to tell you something about the conceptual framework that we're working in. So as you see, it's an online English language journal, and we focus on the geography called as Central and Eastern Europe. And I mean, we practice a very broad understanding of this Central and Eastern European concept, I would say. And sometimes we publish material on maybe unorthodox geography, so to say, like Switzerland or Greece, for example. But first and foremost, MOST is a passion project, and what gets published in MOST, it's an intersection of our interests. I mean, mine, Vera's and Katie's, and maybe about the name. MOST in Polish and in some Slavic languages means bridge, and it's also a funny name because there's a lot of puns that you can make with the title. And another important thing about MOST is that we are not a news outlet, but more of a research or archival tool. So when accepting texts for publishing, we don't really mind if the exhibition was closed, or we don't pay attention to, the exhibition does not need to be on for it to be reviewed. In MOST, I mean, we are aware that most of our readers will not be able to physically engage with the exhibition. So it's a very broad geographical scope that we have. So this is the policy we adopted. Also, the editing process is a thing that we consider very, very important. We work with both established and emerging writers, and sometimes this is the first contact with an editor that the writers have that is, delivered through MOST. And as you see here, when editing, and Katie Zazeński is like the main person doing the editing in our magazine. Katie is an English native speaker, but when editing, she also respects the, I don't want to call it regional varieties of English language, but that there are differences between when an English native uses English and a Polish native uses English and a German native or Austrian uses English. So Katie does not standardize these ways of applying the English language, but rather keeps the unique varieties that exist. And MOST is a non-profit organization. I mean, emphasis on non-profit. We are completely not funded. So, I mean, here, somewhere. Here, there's this button, support MOST, and there's an account number. So if anybody wants to support us, please, it's very easy. But so far we didn't have much success with grant applications. So we joke that, for the Polish, we are a foundation registered in Warsaw, Poland, but our team is international, I would say. Vera is originally from Belarus, and Katie is originally from the US. I'm from Poland, but we're not Polish enough for the Polish government to support us. So it is, as I said, a passion project. I mean, we love what we do, and we do it for free. We don't pay ourselves, we don't pay our authors. But this is also, we have the saying in MOST that transparency is all we can afford. So whenever we start a conversation with the author, we are very clear about the working conditions that we are subjected to. And recently, so the magazine is not the only thing that we do. And we've been conducting writing workshops. Recently, we had a workshop within the space of the Museum of Modern Art in Warsaw. There was a workshop conducted with the Digital Cultures Festival. We had portfolio reviews in cooperation with the Post Department of the Art Academy in Riga in Latvia. What else did we do? Next week, inspired by the activities of Verein K, we are gonna host our first batch of art critics visiting from Serbia, Hungary, and Slovenia, coming to Warsaw to learn about the Polish art scene. And our biggest project, before I jump into our biggest project yet, a bit of a cliffhanger, I just wanted to mention briefly the formats that we have in the magazine. So as you see, I mean, opinion is basically exhibition reviews. We have essays, we have conversations with, I don't know, artists and cultural practitioners. We have features where we present interesting artistic position from the region along with the curatorial commentary, and Seesaw, which is basically exhibition documentation from around the region. And as you see, I mean, right now, recently we published a great interview with Brita Peters from Urbane Kunsterur. The interview was conducted by the great Maja Ciric. And this is a great essay on Margarita Polowinko by Elizabeth Bauer. We have an interview with Kuba Rudziński of Studio Lekko, who designed our logo, a review of the Berlin Biennial, my interview with the organizers of Fringe Warsaw, an interview with Edith Andras, the art historian from Hungary, who was awarded the Igor Zaber Award last year, and yeah, many, many more. This is our Instagram. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so via here or via the email. But about the project that we've been busy with for almost a year, the title of the project was There is Nothing Solid About Solidarity. And the title of this project was inspired by a talk by Svitlana Matvienko, and she was mentioning a Czech philosopher who discussed solidarity as something very difficult and necessary at the same time. So this was a project around solidarity practices and gestures in grassroots initiatives along geography named as Middle East Europe. Middle East Europe, yes. And this is a geographical concept devised by the Kiev Biennale curators, encompassing the countries from the Eastern European region as well as the Middle East. And this project was a satellite project of the Kiev Biennial this year, happening in Antwerp, in Muka, in the studio, the Cinema and TikTok Gallery. And for the project we had an exhibition by the same title. We also had a forum with really wonderful participants. One of them is sitting here in the audience, Firas Shehadeh. Hello, thank you. Firas is a great artist based here in Vienna. I mean, we really had an amazing bunch of guests. And apart from the exhibition, there was a 2-day forum happening in Muka. We also had a video program with Katarina Jazbec, Beatrice Mundian, and Tytus Szabelski, Drian Zeneli, among others. Another video program happening concurrently in the TikTok Gallery, and also a series of texts commissioned especially for this project will be published in most magazine in the upcoming days, I suppose. And yeah, so this is most. I hope I didn't. Yeah, we also had a party. I'm sorry, I forgot. There was there was a lot of things happening. So yeah, and the party was great. I remember the party. So yeah, so this is Most. Please feel welcome to read us, or if you'd like to write something for us, you are also welcome to do so. We would be very happy.
Wow, also with you, Most is a lot. I'm quite impressed. And I want to, because we are here for Crit Cross and we have been thinking about criticism beforehand, so I take us the way back to criticism. And one of my first questions is like, who are your authors? How do you acquire authors? I just have heard Britta Peters, as I know. So it's like you get acknowledged authors, people to collaborate. How do you, also with your, if you work collectively, how do you decide with your co-editors what to publish, or how do you get proposal, get your subproposals?
I mean, we get quite a lot of proposals and via email actually. I mean, and also still, I mean, the authors are informed at the very first stage of the conversation that this job is not paid. And still they wanna contribute, and we have recurring authors as well. So so people keep coming back. I guess this is also, I would say that, you know, the editing that Katie does is quite unique. So, and as I said, I mean, in the Central Eastern European region, I mean, there is not many possibilities to, you know, get published and have your text edited and proofread, which is, you know, a very nice thing to have, a necessary thing to have. Sometimes we approach authors. I mean, I don't know how it, I mean, it's really hard to say how it really works. I mean, it's a bit, you know, I mean, it's a bit of what's possible, actually. Yeah.
I think there's also lots of work within the editing process. I think that there's like something which is really very valuable. Also, I've been working for Camera Austria for quite a couple of years, since 2004. And at the beginning, I was the kind of assistant curator, and then I was helping for 50 issues to be released. So I did a lot of editing work, so that I know that there's like something in between the text when it is delivered and the text when it's finished, yeah. And and there's also kind of how. But you are also kind of a writer. You also write. You publish internationally. So what are your editing experiences, or how have you experienced the editing process?
I had a nice experience with you. Like, I mean, I remember writing for Camera Austria when you were the editor, and I mean, I don't know, it was always very, very thoughtful. I mean, I also, like, I very much appreciate working with editors because, as you probably know, like, writing is a pain. Like, I mean, the last stage when you have to meet a deadline or you're already late, I mean, at least for me, you just want to get it out there. And you don't sleep, you just, you know, overdo coffee, overdo cigarettes and stuff like this. And you lose the, I mean, panic sets in. And on the other side of the text, there's you or an editor that I work with, who is in a very different mindset, I would say, and is able to tell that, you know, there are things that I might have missed, that there are things that can be fleshed out or omitted also, or yeah. I mean, I have a tremendous respect to editors, and I think, I mean, as we were discussing earlier, like, writing is a solitary practice, but like with the editor, you're not alone suddenly, you're just like in dialogue, and I think it makes if you you're in touch with a good editor, it makes the piece better. Of course, like I think, but that was rare. I mean, I had one bad experience, to be honest, when I felt that the editor tried to push me into a direction that I didn't really want to go, and it was more about the person and not about the text. But that was one time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was thinking, because there is no money involved, and if this is a reason that you can have a more critical stance, and my question is going in the direction of the negative review. Yeah, have you published negative reviews on most, or have you written some, or what is your experience about that? This is like, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to rephrase one thing that I said. I mean, sometimes we're Polish enough for the Polish government to recognize us as potential receivers of funding, because the project, the Visiting Critics project we're doing now, and There's Nothing Solid About Solidarity project has been supported very generously by the Adam Mickiewicz Institute in Warsaw, and the institute is basically like a Goethe Institute for Polish art, and we are very grateful for that. We really appreciate it. And but yeah, I mean, yeah, as I said, I mean, transparency is all we can afford in most. And regarding like bad reviews, I mean, I don't remember a review that was like that was 100% bad. I mean, we publish ambivalent reviews, I would say, and this, like, you know, good bad review binary doesn't really apply to most of the text that we published. I mean, I was, but of course, like, I mean, you're always in the middle of, I don't know, many different interests. Like, I mean, I was, like, when I am invited for press trips, for example, and the press trip is really lush, and you're in a nice hotel, and you get, you know, perfect hospitality, and the press person is nice, and the show is like, so then you're in a bit of a pickle, I would say. And but this is when this, like, I wouldn't call it a format, but like, I don't know, when this ambivalence can set in. And I think we also touched upon this in one of our conversations, that I mean, a bad review is not a bad thing necessarily, as long as it's not a menacing, as long as you don't want to hurt anybody, I think it's fine. And I think, you know, when you write reviews, whether it's a good review or a bad review, you always have to have like this, your own ego in check, to, you know, like, I mean, not to tone it down, but like realize why you're writing what you're writing, so to say. Is there an interest besides, you know, you liking or not liking the work that you want to entertain, so to say? Yeah.
Yeah, but you're all in a network of different dependencies, yeah, of different strands. Yeah, there is the gallery, there's the magazine, there's you, it's a network of people and of different fields where you're working in, or where you try to negotiate. And I think it's, yeah. Would you say that you approach your writings differently if you write for online, for eFlux, for example, or if you did it for Camera Austria? Yes, because it's like, this one is like, it will be read on a screen, and and the other is on paper. Do you think this matters?
Just a second, I wanted to comment on one thing that. One thing about the bad review. Like, for a long period of time, I only written good reviews, because I thought that I wasn't like publishing in Polish magazines anymore, and I was writing to international magazines, and I just thought that if I see something, I need to like it in order to write about it, because it's such a prestige to get a review. So why would I waste my time on a show that I didn't like, for example? because, you know, writing for eFlux is, you know, a privilege on my part, and it's also, how do you say, it's also a privilege for the show or the artist I'm covering, so to say. Same with Camera Austria. So this was, you know, a comment to the previous question, now to the current question, whether I differentiate when writing between online and offline. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, I just like, I also thought, I mean, I always thought it's the same public. I always thought it's the same people. And I always thought that maybe I'm ignorant or like naive or blah, blah. I don't care. But like, for me, it was never an issue. And also like, I mean, I also trusted you, and I also trusted the editor in eFlux who would say, look, like, you don't have to say those things about, you know, Kant or Heidegger. People know Eva, just like, sit down, yeah? Our readership knows, so you don't have to preach about philosophy, so to say. And I mean, I'm fine with that, you know? And I mean, but I wouldn't know, the editors would know. And about, but there's a, I mean, still, I mean, there's such a pleasure of like seeing your text printed. It's like such a big thing for me that it's like, that is there, you know, it's paper.
Do you read it once you have it? Do you,
no,
but okay.
no, I give it to my mom or my dad or something like this. I mean, I mean, sometimes I, you know, do this, take a picture and post it on Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
And but I mean, I never read the review after I wrote it, after it gets printed. But recently, just like a small anecdote, recently I was writing a text and I was like, I've written about this already, like 5 years ago or something like this. And I came back to a text that I've written 5 years ago and I was like, okay, nice.
Well done.
Yeah, I quite like it. So maybe it just needs time or distance.
But you gave now, you said Instagram, and this is like something where we tried to head with our conversation. So do you think that your nuanced arguments that you have when you write, that they can translate somehow into different formats or in other outlets or social media, let's say, or how do you?
I would say no, but also I think it's, you know, changing very rapidly. A friend of mine who's also who's an active art critic, and I guess he had some. He had a conversation with students, and one of the students said that, you know, when it comes to art criticism, they prefer Instagram over TikTok because on Instagram you can, you know,
at least
you can elaborate on your ideas or something that it's so I found it really funny. On Instagram, to be honest, I haven't found an account that would be kind of compelling in terms of, you know, in terms of like art criticism of art or art writing. I mean, Instagram is more advertising for me. I mean, that, you know, for example, as a magazine, you publish fragments from the text and then you give a link to follow, to, you know, to read the text proper, I would say. But yeah, but maybe there's also a possibility that I'm missing something.
Yeah, but you also have the option not to comment or to share or to like, and this is like it gives attention to, or it draws attention to your writing, or do you use this consciously? This like, or is it like you're scrolling and or do you place them intentionally? Your comments or your likes or your...
No, my Instagram is empty. Like, I don't comment. I never, like, maybe there, I think there was like a competition that you could win some cosmetics and then I commented. But like, I never comment.
Okay.
No, I do not use...
Yeah.
I don't do Instagram very much. I mean, we have, you know, most has an Instagram, and I think it's enough for me. The things that you see here are the participants of this There's Nothing Solid About Solidarity Forum, and if you scroll further, we have one post per text or exhibition documentation, whatever we publish, and this is basically all. But like with I like reading longer forms of text because I really like to understand where the author is coming from, where do they draw their conclusions, like how do they think. And in Instagram, it's not always possible. It's really, you have a place to like transmit an idea or a comment, and not necessarily a full argumentation, so to say. Yeah,
of course, because, but there are different formats, yeah. So it's like Substacks, for example. No, so are you reading them, or how do you think about that?
I mean, with Substack, I'm only beginning to research. I mean, research or just like look for stuff like consciously. I mean, so far I've read like I like one Polish author. That has very interesting pieces of criticism, which are more experimental and poetic, not necessarily. I mean, a piece like this would not necessarily be accepted as a pitch in one of the media outlets.
Yeah, but on most, so you would. This is like something I really like about magazines, or I think it's very valuable. Then there's a team behind. There's a team, or there are a couple of people who decide what you. It's kind of curated, maybe, kind of the magazine. No, it's people who decide what's going in, or what is considered of value, or what is somehow. No, so and if you. You can also call them gatekeepers, no? And then if you look at Substack or somewhere else, you can just let it out, or you can just email it, and then you can see, yeah, if there are comments or does it come back, yeah. We also wanted to go a little bit to the restructuring of the field, because we said we are in a kind of digital age or whatever, yeah. Or there's Substack, there's Insta, there's TikTok, there's. So do you? What do you think? Do you think that we have, at the moment where we are now, that you think there's a kind of shift, or in terms of criticism, how the language develops, or how?
When I started writing, for sure, this way. I mean, today, this writing from first-person perspective is very popular. Like, yeah. I'm walking into an exhibition, I am reminded of, a cake I ate some time ago, and then blah, blah, blah. Sometimes, I understand why it is like this, because back when I started writing, this wasn't very common, to be honest. You always, like, as a writer, you would kind of like remove yourself, like, from the text, and try to like write as if you were an objective, transcendent being or something like this, which is like never the case, of course. And right now it's the other way round, I would say. I mean, I'm like, again, like this is a personal preference. I mean, I don't really. There actually. One text that we recently published, one by Arash Shahali, is written from a first-person perspective, and it has some personal stories woven into the text, but it's great. It's a great text, because like sometimes with those like first-person narratives, I realize that I learn more about the author than about the exhibition or the artist. And I'm just not that, I'm interested in what other people have to say, of course, but like, I don't, I wanted to learn about the show. Yeah, I mean, this was my main reason of approaching the text. So this is like the main the main difference that I see right now in art criticism. And of course, I mean, of course, there are reasons behind it. Social media is one of the reasons why it is like this. Also, like, you know, this emphasis on individuality in Western societies is more and more prevalent, I would say. And also that, you know, the myth of the art critic has been demystified finally, that it's not an objective truth that they are speaking, but it's a subjective kind of like point of view, and it's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, and because of writing, who has been, with whom did you learn your writing skills, or how did this came about? Who did at university, or how did you, where are your skills coming from?
I mean, mostly from practice, of course,
Yeah.
but I mean, we had at the university in Warsaw at the art history department, there was a students' magazine called Sekcja, and there was Anna Łazar there, the current director of the Zamek Ujazdowski in Warsaw. There was Karol Sienkiewicz, who is now a very respected and accomplished critic, and this is where, and this was my first like critical texts, and after that, my ex-boyfriend, he taught me a lot about editing, review, like, I don't know, I mean, just like writing that's comprehensible to other people, not only myself. But I mean, I learned writing by writing, basically, and through editors, and also like my whole life is, you know, feeling, as a Polish woman, my whole life is like, I'm not enough. So yeah, it's also Catholicism, but like, so I also read a lot. Like, I mean, I read, and like I figure out how like other people like do things.
Yeah, yes.
How do they write? What's the structure of the text and stuff like this. So
What are you reading?
I mean, I try to read. I mean, I love science fiction, of course. I mean, of course. I mean, it's not an obvious choice. Weird fiction. I like very much. I recently got into poetry. I read Mus magazine, Camera Austria, Eflux, Eflux journal. But also, like, the thing with Eflux is that, you know, I mean, it's not only online now. Like, they also have those like almanacs of collected texts that have been selected and published as very big.
As reader, no?
Yeah. And it's a great publication. Exhibition catalogs. What else do I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So now I know your favorite magazines now. But did you in the field, since I think I kind of try to argue that it's restructuring, that there is like, there's constantly shifts and it's moving, and I just have been, in the preparation for here, I have been looking what just recently, you know, what just happened, and I just looked up Vienna, and I saw that the the magazine just shifted to live arts, and I saw that, I was emailing with Tom Viane from Trigger magazine, and this is a magazine which was published online and on paper, and I saw that he just emailed me saying that it will be out only on paper currently. And I know that I had Nela Eggenberger on the phone, and she was telling me that Pinea, that's her magazine, which will be launched in 2 weeks, in the beginning of December, and it's Pinea stands for photography and intermedia at all, and she kind of tries to differentiate, because we also talk about this, if we can differentiate the text at different platforms, and she will just, first it will go online, and it will be online text, and the text she thinks about presenting there will be short texts or will be interviews, and then there will be the printed issue. This will be for features and longer texts, yeah, for longer essays. And next year at some point, she also kind of was thinking of developing a podcast as a format where you can explore ideas, maybe in a different way or than in writing, no? Or you can argue, or you can have more people just kind of, yeah, in a lively discussion. This was the idea. So, is there something which you kind of experienced, or you witnessed how it changed, or the new magazines, or what you think, or you kind of newly writings, or
I didn't get the question, sorry.
if you managed to encounter new formats of writings, or new platforms, or new something which just kind of emerged, or which just changed, or yeah.
Maybe podcasts.
Yeah.
But in terms of art, in terms of like art criticism, I mean, in Poland we also have this shift from, I don't know, printed magazines to online. I mean, one of the biggest magazines, the biggest magazines, I would say, in Poland, Szum, they stopped printing their issues some time ago, and they are only online right now because of the lack of funding. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, podcast is also a good source for art criticism, I suppose. Also with things that you cannot really, I mean, with, I don't know, more materialistic or structural approaches, I would say, discussing, you know, the many, like the intricacies of the art world, the many relationships that, and the hierarchies and something like this. I haven't had a chance to, yeah, I mean, I guess some things can only be said, and it's best not to write them down. Yeah.
Okay. There's also kind of, we have been talking before when we, that there is maybe that when we now go into museum or something, there's like that, there we have this, that we witness more and more often this einfache Sprache, the plain language, yeah. And I was thinking if you think there is a term which relates back, or something which relates back to the social media, or the kind of language we have, because our attention span kind of is diminishing, or how do you think about, is there a relation between the plain language usage and the kind of social media, because both are kind of short form writings? Or
I wouldn't connect it necessarily with social media. It's more about again, whether it's a fact or it's a PR stunt, the democratization of museums and like the increasing accessibility. And I mean, I might not be the best person to ask, because I'm a specific member of the audience, and I don't mind, I don't know, curatorial text on the wall, so to say. It doesn't mean that I don't know, that I appreciate every curatorial text on the wall that I have ever read. I mean, some are a bit convoluted, but, you know, this is, you know. And, but I was also, I mean, as long as a plain text, does not infantilize the audience, that's fine. That's okay, and I'm sure that, yeah, I'm positive that it can be done in a sensitive way, that it's inclusive, but doesn't treat you as, you know, somebody who needs, I mean, it doesn't like infantilize your audience. I mean, the museum audience, I would say. Yeah. Also, like, I mean, if you, like, again, like, if you truly understand something, you don't need to, you can put it in simple words, I suppose. But whether it's connected directly to social media, I am not so sure, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So I also was trying to getting at if our language has shifted and changed through the usage of social media, or how do you think about that? Or
I think it did. I mean, one is this like I perspective, this first person perspective that I was mentioning, but also a lot of, I think there's a lot of colloquial language being included in art criticism now, which is, I mean, I don't think I have an opinion about this. I mean, sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's sometimes it's not necessary, but I guess it comes with, the so-called democratization of the field and like lack of gatekeeping, or I mean, I don't know what gatekeeping is, but yeah, apparently it's something bad.
gatekeeping. Well, yeah, but I think there are so many different platforms, and there are some with and some without. But is this something that you use, colloquial language, in your writing?
No. No. I don't know. I just have I find it really hard to use colloquial words in writing. I'm not sure if there's maybe I'm too stiff or something. I don't know. But like I'm not sure what's the reason behind it. But I mean I just cannot do it. I just cannot do it. And also this first-person perspective, it's rarely that I use it. But it might be a personal problem. Like it might be something that I should ask my therapist about or something like this. Because like I sincerely, I don't know. I just can't do it. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a personal preference that I have. But like, yeah.
There was another question I have prepared for you, because there was an article I have been reading in preparation. It was on Art Review, and it was Eddie Frankel, and Eddie Frankel did pose the question if have pain and trauma silenced art criticism, and I think maybe it would be interesting to have your perspective on it. What do you think? Can we only write about or think about difficult topics we only have been through, or what is your take on?
That's a great question that I don't have an answer to be honest. Like, I mean, I hope it's not, that it's not going to be like this, that I have to live a certain experience in order to write about it.
To talk about it,
especially that, I mean, we're not even writing about life, we're writing about art. These are like two separate things in my book. Yeah, I mean, art of course like is related to life and it draws from life. There can be no other way, but like it's a separate thing. So I don't like I've been like thinking about this because I think it's a very important question, and I don't have a good answer, to be honest. It's still a question that I kind of like grapple with. And yeah, I'm sorry, like if somebody came here looking for an answer to this question, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't have one. I mean, it would be great to hear from you as well, maybe after we finish. I mean, what's your opinion on that? Because I would love to know.
Yeah. Shall we can also kind of open up or see if there is a question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Is there something which is kind of... Okay.
I would be really curious to hear what's your, like, I mean, the last question by Margit was a really crucial one.
Also, also es ging so darum, ob man nur mal über Schmerz oder Trauma, ob diese zwei Themen, was die gemacht haben mit Kunstkritik, ob wir uns zutrauen, über diese Dinge zu sprechen, zu schreiben oder wie wir dem begegnen wollen. Das war so.
Wenn der Kontext zu diesem Kunstwerk da wäre, dann wäre das klar, aber sonst ist es doch gar keine Frage. Nur wenn es im Kontext zu einem Kunstwerk ist.
Ja, aber die Frage, also dürfen wir uns dem annähern? Also, oder
Sicher, wir dürfen alles. Ja. Sicher. Ich meine, Trauma, wenn ich jetzt einen Schiele sehe, ja, da sind auch traumatische Dinge abgebildet, der Tod und das Mädchen zum Beispiel.
Ja.
Natürlich kann ich mich als Kunstkritiker dem nähern und meine persönliche mein Wissen, mein Gefühl miteinander auch verbinden, klar. Aber ich bin natürlich keine Kritikerin, obwohl ich eine Kritikerin bin.
Ja, aber Sie haben sehr viele Jahre Erfahrung, ja, und sehr, also ich sage sehr wertschätzend, ja.
Could you do a little translation, please?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Eva is understanding German.
Yeah, I'm just really afraid to speak it, but like.
Question?
Okay.
Thank you very much. You said at the beginning that you're not funded by the state, and I was at the podium's discussion on Saturday, and there was a thing where it was money always comes with an agenda. And I think it's really interesting because if you say you're not funded by anything, that you, in a way, have a lot of freedom because, like, you don't have an agenda where you have to follow. So for me, would you say it is being not funded obviously comes with a lot of problems because there is no money to do certain projects. So would you say it's more freeing for you to not be funded, or would you say it is still a struggle and you would like to be funded, but then you still would have to follow a certain agenda? If that makes sense.
I mean, after operating without money for a certain amount of time, I would love to be funded and have an agenda, like at the moment, because I mean, you know, I mean, without a stable funding, you're also not that free to do it because you have to do other jobs in order to sustain yourself. And again, like, I mean, we would love to publish more because it's a big region, but we cannot afford to, you know, ditch our jobs that are paying in order to commit more to the magazine. And also, I don't know how it is here, but like, I mean, the funding in Poland is mostly project-based, so you have to have, I don't know, you have to figure something out, like, I mean, a theme or a series of texts on a theme and something like this, and then like it's a promise, I'm gonna do it in this way, and like it's not necessarily a bad thing sometimes, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if I would choose between funding and not funding, I would choose funding. I guess so. But like, I mean, I don't know. It's not that, I mean, it's not bad. Like, I mean, we survive. I mean, we have a lot of like determination to do what we do and achieve fame and success. You know, in the upcoming, I mean, next year or something like this, in the upcoming months or something. But yeah, again, like, I mean, it was really awesome that we received some funding for this project, even though the participants, I mean, the people taking part in the project were not, I mean, 90% or like 85% were coming outside of Poland. So yeah, I think it was really great, and for the visiting critics, we also got support from the Polish government. So yeah.
And for example, here for your website, you need a server, you need a running server. So is it then, do you have an infrastructure which provides you with this, or is this like you putting money in?
No, we don't put money in.
Okay, okay.
I mean, we have like, this is an ad, and we have some place for ads, and we also do sometimes paid collaborations. For example, the conversation I did with the organizers of Fringe was done as a paid collaboration, and so yeah, I mean, we have sometimes some funding to cover, you know, the costs of administration, like accounting, running the foundation, and hosting of the website. Regarding the infrastructure of the website itself, it was done by Vera, who watched hours of YouTube tutorials in order to teach herself how to program WordPress website, and I think she did great. It works, and it's a really nice website.
And so there is a space for advertisement. You just showed us. So if you would have a person, or if you would put more effort in advertisement, do you think there would be a market in your area, or if you would?
I don't know. I mean, so far it's been really hard to find advertisers. But like, yeah, again, about the funding question. Sorry, before about the funding question. If we were funded, for example, we could hire a person to do our, to do the fundraising, for example, which clearly we don't have any ability. Like, I mean, we have a limited understanding of how, you know, finances work. But so, yeah, with funding we could hire such a person, and it would be, yeah. Yeah,
but then you're also kind of in this field that you cater an industry, and you need to fulfill certain desires, so now you can really operate completely freely, or you can just, what you think is at stake. I think this is like, and you generate a counter archive on texts, on voices, yeah, and maybe they do not belong so much to the canon we have. So I think this is like, it's in terms of this, it's like it's very valuable.
Yeah, it is, and I think, you know, I mean. But I'm not really proud that we're not paying our authors, for example. Like, I mean, it's like, it's work, you know, writing is work, editing is work, publishing online is work, social media, like, I mean, everything is work. And it's not an ideal situation, so to say. Yeah, but we're doing our best.
So if you have prospects for your magazine and for MOST, what would it be? If you
prospects?
Yeah, or the in 3 years, or do you have something what you would like to achieve with the magazine? What is, yeah, or with the
I mean,
project
for me, I would be very glad if we could pay our authors, if we could pay, I don't know, just some money to ourselves, and this would also enable us to commission texts, maybe, and yeah, I mean, it would be great to, you know, make an exhibition together with Katie and Vera somewhere, like a survey of Central and Eastern European contemporary art, because I don't think there's a I mean, I haven't seen recently an exhibition like that, and it would be great if we could do it. yeah, I mean, I wish many things, actually. I really had a lot of pleasure in conducting writing workshops, so it would be great to have more of that. Yeah, what else? And I mean, the first, like, the thing that I wish the most for most is that we still work together, me, Vera, and Katie, that we still, you know, work together on this, because, you know, it doesn't make sense if we don't work together, actually, because, you know, yeah, most is us.
Yeah, and
also.
In your area, would you say there is a comparable magazine, or is a comparable work done by someone else?
I mean, yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, there's a great magazine in Slovenia called ETC, and but it's a printed magazine. I mean, they publish, I don't remember like how often do they publish, but this is also a survey of the contemporary art in the region. They have, I don't know, a section for essays, also for featuring artists, stuff like this. There's I think they are from Estonia, a shade colder, which is both online and printed, and they also do a great job. Yeah, there are some. We're not you know, unique. We would love to be a monopolist, but it's not. It's not the situation.
Yeah. And from theme-wise, because most is very open, yeah? So do you think there's an urgency or, on specific themes, or on specific in relation to your region? Is there, because I think so, as far as the essays or something, do you also think of having it rather in a, let's say, compact, that you have, you know, as a major topic, and then you develop subtopics out of it, or how does the section work, or how does
essay?
it? Yeah, for example, yeah, or the features. Is it rather a very associative, or do you have
I mean,
it?
I would say it's rather associative, although I mean, for the region, I guess, you know, the question, where is the West and where is the East, is very important. I think, you know, the countries that do not ask themselves, or like, I mean, the art scenes that do not ask themselves this question are Western countries. And in the East, I mean, in the East, or like, I don't know, in Central East, I mean, you usually ask yourself like this question, like, who am I in relation to the West, or what is East, or what do we have in common? And I think this is also a prevalent theme in, like, appearing in most of the texts that we publish, but usually it's more associative. I would say, as I was saying, I mean, when we decide on whether to publish a text or not, we decide, the three of us. So by necessity, this is, you know, an intersection of the interests that the three of us have.
The necessity to give voice to a certain position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, I don't know, Vera is very much into decolonial, among many other things. I mean, it's also like a very, you know, reductive thing that I'm gonna say. But, you know, she's very much into decolonial theory. Katie is very much into artist-run spaces and grassroots initiative. I'm more of a, you know, digital kind of, you know, science fiction, weird stuff. And yeah, and we have sometimes lively discussions about, you know, the materials that are being pitched.
Do you know who your readers are, or can you also Google Analytics or something? Can you just kind of?
Yeah, but only, I mean,
like
only through a limited, again, lack of funding, that we have access to, you know, the most basic tools. We have quite a lot. I don't wanna like say the number because I don't wanna lie to you.
Yeah,
but when I heard the number, I was impressed. So, like, I mean, it doesn't tell you anything, but yeah. But also, like, curiously enough, a lot of our readers come from the U.S.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the diaspora, but maybe not. But the majority would be Central and Eastern European.
And we have been talking about Substacks before, but do you have some kind of newsletter, or how do I know if there is a new text online, or how shall I just revisit the site? Or
no, I mean you can check the Instagram.
Okay.
I mean, whenever we publish something, we post a dedicated post on Instagram. We are planning to establish a newsletter, but yeah, I mean, I hope it's gonna materialize soon.
Okay. It's interesting that you might, so it's like you have the online format and you would use Instagram, yeah. So I've been thinking about the accountability and the visibility, yeah. So I think if you're with your magazine, you might have. Do you think you have a high visibility? I think your authors, and since you're a team who is working, and you have a high accountability, yeah. And I was thinking that I want to get at the relation to accountability and visibility, yeah. And I think since the way it's presented and there's a team working on it, so I would say that it's like you have a high accountability, yeah. And I think about the visibility, yeah. And maybe if you look at how can we put things which have a high accountability to a section which also have a high visibility, you know. So you use Instagram for that. This is kind of.
Yeah, and I mean, also, I don't know, the things that we do in the physical world, like, I don't know, the workshops and I don't know, portfolio reviews and other projects. I mean, this is you know, how we build visibility, even though it does not translate into, I don't know, social media following or something like this. But I guess it's also the most durable way of being visible, just to be in each other's memories and like, yeah,
just to work in the field.
Yeah.
Well, is there something what I forgot to ask you, or is there something what you want to talk about? I felt like I have gone through my notes, and then otherwise I would just open it up again.
Yeah, sure.
If there is something. It's like.
Hello. Hi, Eva.
Hi.
Welcome to the Hood again. I wanted to ask you about the bad reviews and the good for the general public, basically. As I understand, like what you meant with, like, you know, like when you are welcomed and there is this and that, and you have to, and you cover basically things you are interested in or you find interesting. But I was thinking about bad reviews and art criticism importance to basically troll fascists, for example, like in Austria, especially, and Germany. Especially like to give an art critique to, you know, like the current, basically, ecological collapse, genocide, casual airstrikes in the Caribbean, and you see this kind of sleeping beauty that is happening in at least in Central Europe. Like, for example, like today, there was this court case because the Academy of Fine Arts is stalking an artist, Middle Eastern woman, Instagram account, and putting her in court, like weird stuff. So yeah, I was thinking like of the responsibility for. I mean, I've been in the program that you did in Antwerp, and I was amazed. It was a very much fresh air coming from Vienna to be part of such a great program, and those critical voices, and to hear them from East Europe and Central Asia. So yeah, I was just thinking about like, what would you think about basically the responsibility to respond to the current times, and in terms of these bad reviews kind of thought? I don't know if it's bad reviews, but basically, you know, like you go to the Albertina and you see like literally fascism laid out on walls, or actually any art institutions in Germany and Austria mostly. I mean, state-funded, I'm speaking mostly. So yeah.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's, you know, necessary, and I think, you know, this is where also social media comes into play, no? And as I was saying, some things are not possible to be like written in printed magazines or like, I don't know, established publications or something like this. I mean, for example, like, so yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I mean, there's nothing bad in a bad review, I would say. And sometimes it's a question of, you know, making, you know, the violence that has become kind of like transparent and like accepted overall, it gets to be visible again. Yeah, that something is not right. But also, I mean, for example, I'm so like, I mean, it's a personal thing. I'm so disengaged from the Polish art scene that, and it's not about. And it's just about, you know, a moment in life that I'm in, basically. So my last review from Poland wasn't like really engaging with, you know, all the stuff that I disagree about. But that wasn't also the place to address them. But for example, like in Most, it's, as I said, like it's also meant to be a research tool. So sometimes it's just like, I mean, I don't want to say, yeah. But I mean, we have critical writing in Most. I mean, no, backtrack. I mean, I think as I was saying, I mean, we're publishing ambivalent text, so I guess it also counts as something, I would say. But I totally agree with you that, you know, that it's a vital role of art criticism to voice those, I don't want to say concerns because it's not the proper word, but like, you know, the hierarchies and the violence and the inequalities that we have in the art world. Yeah. Silence.
Is this our final word?
Maybe. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Margit,
Thank you, Ewa,
for talking with me.
Sharing,
and thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you.